Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Lydia Smith. I am 21 years old and I grew up in a small town called Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Upon reading these chapters, I was trying to figure out a way to make my speech and my introduction stand out a little bit. And everything I read just kept saying, grab people's attention, grab people's attention. And I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm a big TikTok girl. I can sit and scroll for hours. So I decided that I'm going to do a get ready with me and tell you about my life and why I'm here and a moment that really impacted my life and has inspired my goals. So follow along. So I grew up in a small town and I am the youngest of 5. I have 3 older brothers and 1 older sister, and we all played sports. So I am super competitive, and I've been doing sports since the age of 3. I did swimming, running, basketball, soccer, tennis, gymnastics, even though I was not supposed to be doing that, and any sport you can imagine, I was doing. I got to high school and I had to focus on sports because I wanted to get a good scholarship in college. So I decided I'm just going to swim and run. I dropped soccer, which was one of the hardest decisions I still have ever had to make. So I dropped soccer and I focused on swimming and running, but I still couldn't decide which one I liked to do more and which one I was better at. So I kept going all the way until my senior year, where I competed in this sport called aquathlon, which is where you swim and run. So it was the best of both worlds. I actually got to travel to Miami and to Spain to compete. So life was going pretty great, and that is when the Damon triathlon coach reached out to me all about their program and how they got to travel and compete in triathlon, and that I would only have to buy a bike and I could be on their team. So I got my scholarship offer. I turned down every other offer that I had, and I on the spot committed to Damon. Obviously super excited for this new opportunity, and I was just so ready to get there and get started. However, I am a class of 2020 senior, so I committed in November of 2019, not knowing what March of 2020 had in store for me. So come 2020, everything's up in the air. Will I even get to go to school in 2020? Will I have a season? The answer was no. I wouldn't have a season, but I would get to go to school. So now the hard part, picking a major. I knew I had to be in healthcare, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to be a PA because, quite honestly, the quality of life at school was not what I wanted. I wanted to go to college, and I wanted to have fun and enjoy myself. So I obviously didn't know much because I picked nursing. And now I didn't really understand the fact that I would have to come to ECC for my middle 2 years of nursing. I am currently a level 3 nursing student here at Erie Community College. When I committed, I didn't quite grasp the idea that I would have to not be able to compete with my teammates and I would be at a completely different school. Had I known that, I probably would have gone somewhere else. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. I could no longer compete and I didn't have sports. I was forced to just focus on school, which all my life I have never had to do. It's always been sports and then school. I hated it. I could not focus on school, my grades were slipping, and I have a learning disability, but I never really had to get help for it before because I was always so structured and just knew what I needed to do. Well, now school was getting really bad and I needed help. So I went to the Learning Center and I got my accommodations, and for a while they were really helping. I was doing better, but I just couldn't break this sadness that I felt, and emptiness, until one day there was a notification on our Blackboard Center, which is where we get our announcements, and it said help wanted, a job working with 3 high-functioning autistic boys. I saw this and I got so excited. I immediately applied thinking that everybody else would be applying for this. Growing up, I had an uncle with Down syndrome and he was just the absolute best, and I knew I had a passion for working with people with disabilities. And as somebody with a learning disability, I know it's so important for everybody to have a voice. And so I was super excited. I applied and I got the job. I started working with these boys last spring, and I worked with them all summer, and they taught me more about myself than I could ever imagine. I learned so much, I had so much fun, and they really not only gave themselves a voice, but they gave me a voice and helped me decide what I want to do with my life. It's not really be a nurse, but to be a school psychologist where I can help test people with disabilities. I'm excited, and these boys have helped change the way I look at life, change the way I treat people, change the way I look at my own life, because if they can go out into this world and be 100% them, then so can I. Thank you.